Freedom of speech doesn't exist. Freedom of speech doesn't exist because freedom of speech means that someone is entitled to say what they believe without consequences, like getting cancelled and such, and for people to agree or disagree. If they agree, they can say, I agree, it's a good point. I like that you've said that, I like your point. And if they disagree, they're like, I don't really agree with you. I don't really like that you said that. But I respect your opinion nonetheless. Nowadays, everyone's so much angrier now. If someone were to say that they don't agree with chopping little kids' things off, then people that agree would be like, you know, angry and like in agreement, like, yeah, screw those trans left-wing crazy LGBTQ people, you know. And people who disagree were like, oh my goodness, that is the most homophobic, racist, sexist, most bigotous thing that anyone has ever said ever in my entire life. That's the worst thing I've ever heard someone say. Well, in my opinion, obviously chopping kids' things off is wrong because, well, you know, they're a kid and they don't have that decision to make. But if you say that, like on Twitter or something, X, you get absolutely smashed. You'll get either cancelled on whatever platform you're speaking on other than X, because, well, freedom of speech is like, you know, sort of allowed there by the lack of moderators now. But if you say that anywhere on Twitter, you will get verbally abused and ridiculed, and people will not like you. Well, some people, but some people will like you. There's two sides nowadays. But where is the freedom in that? Freedom of speech, where is the freedom? I'm not seeing anything, because, well, how can freedom of speech exist if, well, when you say something, you bear consequences of what you say? There's no freedom in that. Everyone's just so offended at whatever it is somebody's saying. And I think it's because everyone's too soft nowadays. Everyone's caring about what everyone's feeling. Like, the depression thing's nuts. Like, I'm sure some people are genuinely depressed, like, really, like, not in a good state of mind, like their dad's died or something's happened in their lives. But for the people that are depressed for the sake of being depressed, that's not depression, that's just you trying to find an excuse to not do anything all day. Because you know deep inside of your soul that you are supposed to be doing something, and you're not. Like, you'd be like, I was gonna go to the gym today, but I'm really depressed, I just don't want to do it. You know, stop going to the gym to sit in bed and be depressed. Like, it's such a stupid decision to make. Or, I don't want to go online, or I don't want to find a job, or like just things like that. Like, I don't understand why people would rather sit in bed and do nothing, doom scroll all day, than go out and do something beneficial for either yourself or other people. And actually, that brings me on to another point. Doing something for yourself will give you a little bit of money. Like we're going on to a completely different topic now. Money. if you do something for yourself and it fixes a problem for yourself, then it doesn't really get you that much because you can't pay yourself. But if you fix a problem for somebody else, like for a job, in a job example, you're fixing a problem, you're doing something that somebody else wants to do but doesn't have the time to do it, so they pay someone else to do it, and that's how you get paid. And the more people you help, the more money you can make, because people like being helped. Do you get what I mean? Like, you can mow lawns for $20 a lawn. That's a job. That's somebody paying you for a service that they don't want to do, that they'd rather pay somebody else to do instead. It's the same thing with the job. And in a business, it's either offering something to somebody in exchange for money. Like, say someone has a course to make money, or fitness, or whatever it is, roller skating. They would rather spend $30 a month to learn off somebody rather than actually going out there and learning it themselves. Which kind of makes sense. I can sort of agree with that. But also, I'd rather just have the experience than, taking from somebody else's experience and try to use it as my own. But I also just think everything's a load of crap, and I'm a bit suspicious of everything, so I don't know. My opinion changes very frequently, so I could wake up tomorrow and completely disagree with everything I'm saying right now, but I probably won't. So yeah, helping people is good for yourself. Doing things is good for yourself, but helping people is also what makes you the most money, because, well, it's good for your soul, it's good for your health, it's good for your bank account. Like, and depression, I'm not going to say it's not real, because I'm sure there's some people out there that are genuinely depressed. But depression can be completely avoided or negated if nothing has happened and you just get on with life. Because if you can't get on with life, then it's going to hit you like a truck. It's not going to care about your feelings. So if you do care about other people's feelings, that's fine, but don't be offended for them. If they want to be, if I call a trans person trans and somebody else takes offense to that, that's not their, like, they don't need to take offense to that. That's the person I called trans is, which, if they are trans, then how would they be offended anyway? I'm calling them what they are. Hello? That's their position to be offended if they so choose. Which I'm sure any sane-minded trans person would be like, yes I am. Thanks for noticing. Or thanks for, being aware and acknowledging that I'm trans. Which, I don't know why people care so much. It's just a title. It's like being gay, or asexual, or bi-curious with a dash and a Z and a dollar sign or something. Who knows? But I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you now, but I can't, because it's kind of a funny subject. Because it's it's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, enough rambling. one of the main points of this little talk. Freedom of speech doesn't exist because in order to have freedom of speech, it means you can't be affected in any way, no consequences of what you say. You can be affected of what you do, but not of what you say and what you think, which is a right that people don't have. I'm not sure if they used to have it, I don't know. I'm sure someone will get offended at something. And it's okay to offend people, but only the people that you're actually talking about, not some white girl on X. So freedom of speech doesn't exist. Helping people is good for you in many ways. And depression is easily avoidable if nothing happened to you. And depression is an excuse to get you out of certain things. It's a power that you can have, but it also destroys your reputation and it makes you look a bit weak, especially if you're a guy. If you're a 22-year-old dude, no parents have died, you're doing alright, you're making a decent wage, you've got a girlfriend, hopefully, and you're doing okay, you have got no reason to be depressed. If you're a 20-year-old dude, you have your entire life to go and do something. But you kind of got to do it soon, because once you're 30, once you've got kids, then your time will be closing rapidly, because you kind of don't really have the time because you've got kids. And kids are the most important thing on this planet. Like, if you don't have kids, then I'm not gonna say I don't want to know you, but I kind of don't want to know you. If you don't want kids, then I mean, that's your choice. I respect it. See, freedom of speech, but I just don't agree with it at all. I think it's inhumane to not have kids, because kids are the best. I'm not saying I like the duties of having kids, but once they're about 10 and you can pass on your knowledge, like everything you've learned in your life, to them and make them be as best as they can possibly be, and then see them achieve that, is like gold. I don't know this yet. I haven't felt this yet because I haven't got any kids, because I'm 17 years old. But man, it would be a nice feeling. And I love kids. I'm good with kids. I like kids. They're nice. they tell the truth, that's for sure. They're very insulting sometimes. But yeah, have kids. Have kids. Freedom of speech isn't real. Depression is an excuse. And helping people is good for your soul. That's 4 topics I've talked to you today about. I'm surprised if anyone's sat through this entire 14-minute and 5-second talk of some 17-year-old on his bed talking to you about random topics. But if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Joking. Don't worry. But at least comment down your thoughts. I don't care if you like, I don't care if you subscribe, but I do care if you comment down your thoughts and opinions, so I can have a nice bit of discourse between people of the outside world. Because, I like having arguments and debates. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. And I've got a 2-minute timer anyway, because my phone's about to turn off, because I've been spending too much time on my phone, so I've decided to set a parental lock on my phone and put in a random password. So now I can't use my phone after 12:30. So, see you later.